All right, this is the Phantom, and we're back here on the convention floor. Got my sidekick alongside me, Jim Dressel, and we're pleased to introduce our next guest, Mr. Keith Hamilton. Keith, welcome to Phantom Radio.
Well, thank you, Lenny. I appreciate being here for my third year. And just walked through the convention doors. We were all running a little late over at the convention, but we were listening to Mark Kelly, the astronaut, and it was absolutely fascinating. Some of the stories he was telling and the days of being a combat pilot and just how really scary that stuff is.
You've been a busy guy, especially as far as that new title with the International Bowling Hall of Fame and Museum. That's got to be top of your mind right now as far as some of your duties.
Well, I've been in the role as chairman for a year. Of course, Pat Sinello and I worked pretty much in tandem for 5 years before that. And we're extremely busy. As you know or don't know, we have really only a part-time executive director in Eric Kearney. He's on loan from the USBC. He does a fabulous job. I don't know what I would do without him. But it's only part-time. So we have to chip in a little bit more at the executive committee level. So that's probably why you see me working a lot in our office, Jim.
Yeah, I noticed you're sweating a lot, so I didn't know what that was about.
Oh, I sweat a lot anyways. I sweat when I get out of bed.
Well, that's from all the hats that you wear. You know, I've been involved in the bowling writers meetings the last couple of days, and I've seen you all over the casino, all over different meeting rooms, and you were there for most of the day yesterday. How do you keep track of everything you need to do, Keith?
Well, I tell you what, I have to write everything down, and thank God for alarms and cell phones. I can't tell you how many times that's bailed me out of jams and situations that no way I would have ever remembered. I just got to be organized. You know, that's the top thing, really, for any manager. Their job is to be organized. And some things I'm not, but the big picture, I think I'm somewhat organized and logical. And I want to be busy. Last thing I want to do is just have one job and do that one job over and over again. It's to be involved and to do what you can to improve the bowling business. I mean, that's our future.
One of your big coups this past year was the extravaganza. That was the first, and I guess the first annual, correct? Tell us a little bit about that. It was a success, correct?
Well, first of all, Jim, as a prominent writer as you are, one of the top I've ever seen in the bowling business. There is no such thing as a first annual. You know that.
I understand.
Okay. Next year, hopefully, it'll make it. Jim and I work together in case you haven't picked that up. It was fabulous. We did an extravaganza, which was an event, not just a tournament. It was an event that included slot tournaments, of course, the cocktail parties. It actually included a product demo days. We had about 82-person teams. But the format I thought was going to be so difficult to translate to a national market. And it was. But the people who went there loved it. Because it wasn't really about the best bowler wins. It was, quite frankly, the luckiest bowler wins. With the odd games and the even games, and I can't throw a strike, I'll get a zero. People didn't even understand it, but they loved it. And people already want to sign up for next year. So it's going to continue.
So there will be a second annual.
There will be an annual now, Jim.
My goodness.
That's
okay.
Right, but not first annual.
I'm glad you clued me in on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of a rookie in this business.
Yes, you are.
I saw that there's a tremendous amount of entries, especially for a first-year event. That was awesome.
It was, and we do a good job. I'm striking it. We're lucky that we have such great, loyal sponsors. Because of the sponsorship, the Brunswicks and the Ebonites and the Storms and the Jacks Links, and I'm missing someone, I apologize, Cubic AMF. Because of their support, there was a lot of money available and a lot of gifts. I mean, people walked away with bowling balls and T-shirts, money, and in the end, the Hall of Fame collected a check for $15,000. I was expecting zero during year one. So, Pat Sinello, guys, let's face it, he's the one who organized it. He wanted that challenge, and he did it with the help of John Lucido and others to make this tournament such a success in year one. So yeah, it'll be back, and it'll be at stations. Red Rock.
Luby Publishing has quite a few titles under its wing. One of the ones I think that you're paying a lot of attention to now must be the Bowler's Journal itself, of which I am executive editor, by the way. I expect I still am, but, who knows? I might be hanging on by my fingertips, right?
No.
But at any rate, something big's coming up in conjunction with the BJI, right?
Well, we're turning 100 next year, and we are the first sports monthly to reach 100 years. Being, we're the oldest, or I should say longest running sports monthly in America. In fact, I can't think of any sports magazines other than a Sporting News, but that's more of a tabloid that rivals our age. It's the support. It should be an industry-wide celebration, because it was the industry that kept the magazine alive through, a Great Depression and 2 world wars and the Gulf War and the internet, quite frankly. And it's the industry that keeps it going. So next year it'll be a year-long celebration of special features in every issue in 2013, with, of course, the big baby being the anniversary issue itself being November 2013. So we're going to market that as soon as we get back from Bowl Expo, is when the timeline to start marketing bears out.
Well, you might start marketing it when you get back, but I remember 5 years ago, Bob Johnson telling me he was getting ready for the 100th anniversary. So you've been getting ready for this for a long time.
Yeah, it's funny. That was our 95th anniversary, yet Bob was already thinking about 100th. And I'll say something else. I don't know if Bob wants me to say this or not, but when Bob Johnson interviewed with me, he said, "Keith, I'm in for the long haul. I want to be here at least through the 100th." Now that was what, Jim? Probably 90s he came to us, 1998.
Something like that, sure.
1999, Bob came to us. He was looking at the 100th then. So I haven't asked him yet what's going to happen in 2014, but we need to get through 13 first.
I think he's actually expecting me to break out in a sweat during this 100th anniversary deal.
Yeah, we're going to need we're going to need everybody to ramp up our efforts with this one.
Well, I've been fortunate to have been a subscriber to Bowler's Journal for years and years and years. And as things have turned out, 2 of my best friends are Jim Dressel and Bob Johnson. So congratulations for 99 years of success, Keith.
Oh, thank you, Lenny. We appreciate it. Hey, I got something for you if you don't mind. I want to turn the tables a little bit. I come bearing gifts, Lenny. I would like to give you, on behalf of the World Bowling Writers, the 2012 Ghost of Zelen Golden Quill Award. It's in recognition of your groundbreaking contributions to bowling journalism, the Phantom Radio Internet program, and quite frankly, everything you've done for the bowling business. Your great storytelling. You're just a great ambassador for our sport, and I proudly give this to you on behalf of the organization.
Well, I really appreciate that, and you can see the goosebumps on my arm, the hair's raised up.
Sure. He's not lying.
Even though this isn't a surprise, because Keith Hale told me about this a couple of months ago when this was voted on. Keith Hale's your foreign international correspondent, and I stay in pretty much close touch with Keith.
Yeah.
And he had told me about this, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Keith.
Well, you're welcome. And that little bit special, Lenny, this year. I want you to know that, because yesterday we voted at the Bowling Writers Association of America's meeting that the World Bowling Writers, which is what we own, what Luby Publishing owns, we will be merging with them into a newly formed name, okay, a different named organization. What the name is, we don't know yet, but the point is that new name signifies that we are a media. We're just not bowling writers. You're a perfect example of what you do here, and others like you, and the photographers, and quite frankly, the internet. So it's going to be an international-based bowling media. I'm very happy about the merger. We're going to continue International Bowling Writers Awards, but this is the final one. of the organization.
I should add one other thing, and that is the recognition of the media aspect. You're a pioneer in this media, which is webcasting. 5 years at least?
5 years, 11 years.
Yeah, 5.
See how time flies when you're having fun? 11 years, but you're a pioneer. And this goes along with recognizing your efforts, not only from the writing part of it, but from the broadcasting part of it.
I'm overwhelmed, and I'm so appreciative I can't even express it. But one last thing, Keith. Obviously, your lifeblood is your subscriptions. If one of our listeners or several of our listeners out there want to know how to get a hold of Bowler's Journal, how do they send in for a subscription? I asked Jim one time. He didn't know the address because he just used to being there. But
unbelievable.
How do they get a hold of you for a subscription to Bowler's Journal?
Well, thanks, Lenny. The easiest thing to do is go to the internet. Go to www.bowlersjournal.com. Lowercase, uppercase, doesn't matter. bowlersjournal.com, and click the subscribe button. I'm going to promise you that this is the time to subscribe, because in a few months, it's good now, wait until 2013.
I have a hard enough time. They move the offices. They won't tell me where the new office is located. So I'm just getting by. I'm scraping by my fingertips here, you know?
Well, that was part of the plan.
All right. Well, Keith Hamilton, thank you very much for coming by, and keep up the good work that you do.
Okay, you too. Thank you.